San Diego has been in the grips of some hot, humid weather, but the nurse practitioners at CVS Minute Clinic say that isn't stopping a lot of viral infections, usually more common in the winter, from hitting the local health front. Here's this week's What's Going Around.
In North San Diego, Trina Acosta-Tezon in Escondido has seen an uptick in cases of viral upper respiratory infections, also known as the common cold. Symptoms include nasal congestion, a cough, runny nose, sneezing, fever, and fatigue. This infection is transmitted through direct contact with another person, a contaminated surface, or sneezing and coughing. Treatment includes nasal saline, over-the-counter cough suppressants, and decongestants. In Central San Diego, mono is making the rounds. Lori Glicklich in Mission Valley says this infection is common among young people and is spread through kissing and sharing drinks. Symptoms include a sore throat, swollen lymph nodes in the neck and armpits, headache, skin rash, and fatigue. With lots of rest, most of the symptoms should resolve in a few weeks, but the fatigue may linger for up to 3 months. In South San Diego, another viral infection. Kasia Lalakata in Chula Vista is seeing cases of conjunctivitis, also known as pink eye. Symptoms include red, itchy eyes, watery discharge, and a sensitivity to light. Treatment includes cool compresses and steroid eye drops. And a back-to-school reminder from East San Diego. Amy Polizzi in Santee says now is a good time for sports physicals. These exams include testing for heart murmurs, blood pressure, vision problems, and flexibility. And that does it for this week's What's Going Around.